All right. So we are the Spoiler Kings, and the big movie that came out this past week was Nope. Jordan Peele's newest feature film, his third one. Um, this one we've been raving about it for a while now with all the
Yeah.
trailers. So we all got to see it. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna start with some spoiler-free stuff if you're watching live. Spoiler-free ratings, and then we'll do the spoilers a little bit at the end. So if you wanna, put your fingers in your ears, then by all means.
We'll tell you, go la 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 la.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll watch the trailer and then we'll have Brian do a quick synopsis of what it's about.
Hmm?
All right, yeah, go for it.
Two siblings who run a California horse ranch discover something wonderful and sinister in the skies above, while the owner of the adjacent theme park tries to profit from the mysterious, otherworldly phenomenon. Pretty good. That's exactly what
Yeah,
it
I
is.
mean, yeah, if you're doing the spoiler free, you need to keep it
I
really
mean,
short because
Kiki Palmer did an unbelievable job. That's why she
Oh, she was
really
so
did
great. She was so great.
she, she's
I hated her at the beginning though.
Oh, I loved her from beginning to end. I loved her energy.
I was like, why are
she
you late?
was yeah, she was frustrating in the beginning, very frustrating in the beginning. But yeah, she was she stole the show. I really thought Daniel Coulier was going to be the guy, but it became towards the end like a group effort.
Yeah.
It was so interesting how we found out who that person was underneath that under the curtain, whatever.
Under the veil.
The veil.
Yeah, because
It
we
was
were like,
such,
oh, is that an alien or did she get abducted by the aliens?
it was such a small thing, but like it mattered a lot. It was so
It
Yeah.
dope.
did. Yeah. It's how fast it is here. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I thought that was gonna be somebody. Yeah, it was kind of important, but not like majorly important.
Mhm.
So there's
So it's basically Cowboys versus Aliens. No.
it is not.
Nah, no, I can't sponsor that one.
Yeah, it is not. It's not. Every we'll get into that. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm not
Yeah,
ready.
it's not it's not it's not
Cowboys
Cowboys.
versus aliens is not.
Nah. It's well, all right. So we'll get into spoilers a little bit. So we'll start off with some of the stuff that we liked. Um, yeah. So what were some of the stuff that you guys liked? I don't know if you want to start, Brian.
Yeah, I'll go first. First of all, it was beautiful.
Mm.
And it was very thoughtful. It was so thought engaging in so many issues. Like they did a wonderful job of putting things in, and you're like, why is that there? And the more you thought about it, the more you realize it was an important piece to kind of get you to the third act. That's what everything was. Everything was given to you to get you to that third act. And that first and second act was so creepy. Like there were some parts where I was like, ah! I grabbed my wife. She was like, get off me. And then she jumped too. So but it was well put together. It was just well directed, well written, well acted. I liked all of them. And even some people you could see like had like problems because of some of the issues that happened in their past, and you can see how it affected them as in the future too. It was just
As adults.
as adults, and there's so many aspects of it, and it just thought engaging is probably the best thing. Thought engaging.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think, Brandon?
I totally agree 100%. I also, in addition to everything that you said, I really love the atmosphere of this movie, and I really liked there's a constant feeling of uneasiness that Jordan Peele is really good at crafting and setting from beginning to end, because I felt the same way in Get Out. I felt the same way in Us. And he maintains that from beginning to end. Really, really liked the cinematography. I think it was like Hoyt van Hoytema who was the cinematographer, who's like Christopher Nolan's regular nowadays. He did like Tenet, Dunkirk. I think he did Interstellar as well.
Yeah,
So,
he did.
yeah, so like Peele wasn't playing any games from a visual aspect. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it showed. It showed. You know,
It was
I
a
loved
character in
how
itself, right?
it was a character in
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
Exactly. I love the there were some character parallels that we could get into later. I'm gonna save that for our spoiler part. Uh, Loved the acting. You
Hey,
know,
what's up,
Keke
Will?
Palmer. Oh, hey, what's up, Will?
Well,
Um, Keke Palmer was great in it. Daniel Kaluuya is great in everything he's in. It was great to see Michael Wincott, a veteran actor like him who's been at it for such a long time. He's one of my favorite things about The Crow back in the day, and he's been in a lot of stuff. That kind of new actor, Brandon Perea, or if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, he was really good. So all
Yeah.
around, there was a lot to unpack, but I'd say
Keith
those were my
David.
top standouts.
I,
Keith David,
they
yeah.
didn't. Did
Keith
they show
David.
him in the trailer?
No,
They
I
showed
had
him in the second
no
trailer.
clue.
I love Keith David.
Yeah,
You know,
they
he's
showed him in the
such
second
a-
trailer.
You're not a
Did they?
doucher.
Hey, thank you for sharing, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Keith David. Every time he shows up and stuff, I was like, oh hey, I just
Yeah.
like him. I think he deserves more, some more
Mm.
roles and stuff. Yeah. What else, man? Anything else?
I'd say those
Obviously
were my
spoiler-free.
main things, without leaning too much into spoilers for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what did you think?
Me? Hold on, let me respond to that. So I know Debbie said when we're gonna talk about Comic-Con. I'll say about give us 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, we'll get
into we'll get into that. Yeah. Wanda. David deserves more real life roles. He's Keith David's so cool. In Community, I think he was a great ad in Community at the end. But man, yeah, this I same thing with you guys. Like it makes sense now why I thought, especially the third act was so well shot. Because you said it was the cinematographer was from Interstellar, which is probably one of my favorite like sci-fi space travel kind of movie. It's definitely like my top 5 favorite movies. I freaking love that movie.
This is my top 20
Like,
all time. Top 20 all time movies.
I'd say it's definitely like top 10. I would even put it.
It's
like of all time.
It's thought provoking, and you still like
It's
having to explain what it was going on and having the different dimensions. That's what you need is something like this.
Yeah.
And
and it was visually gorgeous. And then this one, I was like the third act, I'm like, oh man, that is very cool, very different. Those stuff that I know I try explaining to you guys that reminded me of like anime kind of stuff, and which certain animes can get really big and extravagant. And I felt like that's kind of how this kind of became a little bit. So definitely for me, it hit a lot of those like key parts of it. But overall, I thought the scary parts were very well done. But yeah, the acting, everything just hit. Steven Yeun, man, that guy is awesome.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah, and him as Jupe. What was it? Ricky? What was his?
Jupe.
Ricky, but his nickname was Jupe.
It was Jupe, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had that one scene where he's kind of like remember something from his past, and then it cuts to him, and he's just like doing that like
stare down the
100-yard stare and just completely out of it. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Was that Mark? Which Mark?
I think he's talking about his character Mark from Invincible, since he voices the main character on Invincible.
Oh yeah,
he does.
Yeah, that's right, he does.
Yeah.
Which I cannot wait for more Invincible.
Yeah, where's season 2 at?
I know it's taking too long.
I know. But yeah, Mark from Invincible. But yeah, man. So what about some bad stuff? What were things that kind of like threw you off, or you kind of like, you didn't like so much? We'll start with Brian again.
Can you do that without spoilers? So
Be vague.
There's things that the entity or whatever it is, the unidentified whatever object, whatever it is, did
UAP.
UAP.
the UAP
UAP.
that didn't make sense and that was never explained. You know,
Mhm.
and I think that's probably my biggest complaint. There's things that just weren't explained, but I guess in movies that are that big, you don't need everything explained. But I would have rather it had been explained because I think that would have fulfilled everything in the whole movie.
Mhm.
Besides that, I mean, I can't say there's much I didn't like. I just can't. It's not. It made sense. Everything made sense, and that's why I loved about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'd say the same. Like, I know a lot of people are kind of attacking the fact that it kind of moved a little slowly, but I really like slow burns. So that did not bother me.
If it's
I
half the movie is a scary movie, how
Yeah.
does it move slowly then? I mean, no, it's creepy. That's the
Yeah.
idea.
It's
I
feeling
agree.
you like it's filling you, like I said, it's filling you up with that ever present sense of dread, which is what I appreciated, you know. And heck, Get Out was a slow burn, and that's one of the things I liked about it the most. You can do if you could do a slow burn and still keep me invested, you're doing everything right. So
Mhm.
there wasn't really anything about it that immediately comes to mind that put me off. You know,
Yeah.
everything everything just worked as far as I'm concerned.
I mean,
You know,
most complaints. So it's the movie is 3 acts, 1, 2,
yeah.
and 3.
Mhm.
The
Very,
first
very
two
much.
are, I don't care what anyone says, amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone has to say those first 2 acts are amazing. The third is where we have, you know, some people's not liking it. Some say it is stupid. Something is great, but just you have a lot of differing opinions. Uh, I'm one of those people that thought the third act was pretty good. I think
Yeah.
is
Mhm.
what when you think about what you will want to see, I think he delivered it and more, and that's why I didn't have a problem with the third act. But I think that when you have an act, those first two are so good. I don't know what you could have done to deliver anything more than what he already did deliver. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching some um reviews from a lot of the bigger kind of guys, and I was getting like mixed. Like one guy I watched was like, "Oh, it started off slow and then it got good at the end." And then somebody's like, "Oh, it kind of was good, and then the third act kind of like crapped out." And I'm like, how can but that's just like kind of how this movie is, where like this guy is literally saying the beginning was better, and then this guy's saying the end was better. And I was just like, that's crazy. Where like, and that was a lot of the videos. A lot of people were saying it's a slow burn or the ending kind of wasn't good. And for me, I thought it was all good from beginning to end. Because right from the beginning, you're watching, you're like, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
And it's like,
why am I
and I was
watching
telling,
this?
well, even I told you, I'm like, is this still part of like that whole like production
Yep.
trailer, thing?
Yeah.
His Monkey Paw Productions, because all the audio bled over through the previous, one. So I was like, but that was very unsettling and stuff like that. Yeah, I heard a lot of videos have been hearing mixed, but it's mixed, but it's also the mixed reviews are mixed in themselves because so many people are saying they like this part better than this part, but all that's mixed. Like usually like with like say like Thor: Love and Thunder, everyone's saying it's too much funny, it's too much comedy, too much comedy. Where this, it's like everyone's like, I like that, I hate this, I love that, this is not good. So it's really all over the place. One guy says slightly better than us. It's
I liked
different.
it.
No. Okay, so Us had was a good concept, but it wasn't like the whole movie wasn't a masterpiece. There was a lot of parts where you're like, "What the hell?" or "Who
Mhm.
cares?" This movie
You're like
is
scratching each
much
other.
better than Us, in my opinion. I feel like this it's not Get Out, because Get Out changed the game. Like earlier, I remember watching the movie.
Created
I
a
was like,
genre.
realize I'm watching something different that's changed the way horror is being done.
Mhm.
You know, and it really affected me. I was like, man, that is scary. You know, like things that you don't think is scary, but that's really changed everything.
Yeah.
It's not Get Out, but it's better than Us. But I think it's much better than Us. I think it's closer to Get Out than it is to Us.
Yeah.
Same.
I
I
ended up not
thought.
liking Us. A lot of people
Yeah, I
did.
was.
A lot of people
I was
didn't
not.
like Us.
Yeah, I wasn't too keen on Us. I liked the idea, but the execution
It was hard to
wasn't as
deliver.
great. It didn't hit as much for me. And you know, on top of that, Peele really set the bar high for himself with his debut with Get Out. So, you know,
Mhm.
And also,
it
you think it was a little bit too soon after Black Panther for us to come out with the same characters being in that, you know, when you say you see M'Baku, he's like that's M'Baku. It doesn't matter what he's a dad. It didn't matter.
And
You only
Lupita.
see him as that. You see Lupita, she's like, you know, that, you know, I just saw her in this, and that's why I see her as. I think it was too close to those characters for that movie. I think that
Yeah.
affected it a little bit too.
But
Well, they were
even
what, like
I would say,
Yeah.
oh no, go
Within
ahead.
a year.
they
Yeah.
came out like a year
Yeah,
apart,
within a
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even this one, I would say Us and Get Out are a little bit more closer to one another than this and those two. You know, this one, it was very different, very just a different vibe. I felt like altogether with this one compared to Get Out and Us.
I was freaked
But
out by Get Out. I was scared.
oh
I
yeah,
was
no,
scared.
Get Out was
I was like, oh
yeah.
no, don't do it. I was screaming the film, go, run.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
though, there's one part that that barn scene
Oh,
that has to be one of. I know we're supposed to talk about like bad stuff, but that barn scene. Before we'll get into spoilers about it, but that was probably one of the scariest scenes I've seen in a movie in a long time. And nothing like jumped out and scared you, so it wasn't a jump scare. It was like you're at the edge of your seat, kind of like, oh no,
what am I watching?
you know?
What am I looking
Yeah.
at? And
Yeah.
you know, it's pulled to the side and like, oh my
Yeah.
God, what is going on?
Yeah, that's like I literally went like, oh god damn it, like in the theater, like I actually said that.
Yeah.
It's like
I think
Children
that
of
was
the
the one
Corn.
part
That's like what
everyone in the theater said nope. They're like, nope. Like I heard people like, don't. You know, so yeah, that alone kind of like puts it in a different category. Is like having a good scene like that just really
that's something I also
changes
liked.
the movie.
There were parts where even the characters like, nope, I ain't doing that. That's not. That's remember when we first did. When we saw the. I don't know if you remember when we first saw the trailer for this. I said, nope, I ain't going to see that. Nope, because black people, we see those things like, I don't know. We hear that thing, and other people want to go investigate, and black people like, nope, I'm going the other way. Oh, I heard some over there. You want to know what that is? No, I don't. I'm going over here.
You know, I always think back to the scene in the newest Candyman movie where Tiana Paris's character opens up the basement door, looks down there.
Oh yeah.
And then she's just like, nope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think about
it. Just something more
real life,
realistic.
It's real life because you know, if I have my house, this is my house, this is my basement. If I'm it's the middle of the night and I hear something that sounds like it's otherworldly, like nope, it's time for me to go and get the kids and let's leave. I would rather leave than go find and investigate. No, I'm not investigating nothing. Go to the basement? No, I don't know what I look like. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to an attic. I'm not going anywhere with little dolls we set up. I ain't doing none of that stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Or if I'm too freaked out, or if I'm on the second floor or something, and I don't feel like there's any escape, I will just turn the lights on and grab a hammer or a bat and just stand in the corner.
Not going to trip. I'm not tripping over nothing. You know, I'm not doing any of these things.
I don't. Did it have a $60 million budget? I heard it was a pretty low budget though. I could be
That's still
wrong.
pretty. $60 million still pretty low budget.
Yeah.
Because I heard it wasn't even with getting a $44 million for the weekend. It got the top spot, but I was reading somebody saying that that's a pretty good number for this movie.
Yeah.
I still think that's a good. I mean, some of these Marvel movies they're spending $200-300 million, so you have to make that much to break even. You know,
Mhm.
so making $1 billion sounds great, but you're doing 3 times more. I think this movie's going to make $150 million.
Yeah.
You know?
Obviously,
just domestically.
several times its budget. Yeah.
Yeah, domestically. So I mean, I think worldwide, I wouldn't be surprised it made 200, 220.
Mm-hmm. I know it didn't hit its mark. It was supposed to be more. It was supposed to be more money that they expected. The projections, that's what word I was looking for. But yeah, it was still not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. Well, here, let's get into what is it? I like it's UFO movie, but damn. What is it? $68 million is a low budget. Is it? I don't know if it. I gotta look up how much is that. How much it spent on it? 68 mil. Get Out was made with 4. That's what I thought. This one was a fairly low because I mean you really only had 4 actors.
Get Out was 4.5.
In a
Us is 20, and Nope was 68.
68. Wow. I mean, a lot of it's probably the graphics, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, and you got bigger actors.
Yeah, exactly. I think you got bigger actors and you have to actually pay people.
Yeah. I think that's what it was. Well, here, let's get into our rating, and then we'll talk about spoilers and all that stuff.
Okay.
So over here at the Spoiler Kings, we do our ratings a little bit different. We rank everything a now, later, or never. Now means you have to go drop whatever you're doing, go watch this right now. It's worth it. Later means you can wait till it's streaming, wait till it's out on DVD, and then watch it whenever you get a chance. Never means completely skip it. It is not worth time or the money. So that being said, I'll let Brandon go first. Where do you think this one at?
Quick decision. This is an easy now. This is a very solid high now.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a fan of Jordan Peele's efforts. I really like, his style overall, and basically like they're 2-hour Twilight Zone episodes, which is like right up my alley. So I really liked everything he did. I think as far as I'm concerned, he made all the right moves with this one. I put it right on par with Get Out, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe just like a hair under it, but I liked it almost as much as I did Get Out. So absolutely, this is a now, no question about it.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you, Brian?
So it's definitely a now. I'm not putting it up where Get Out was. Get Out had me just squirming in my seat the whole time. I was like, no, run! Like you screaming at the theater, screaming at the movie, like you could hear me. Mm-hmm. I think this one was creepy. When I was like, what the hell is going on? What the hell does that mean? And I've enjoyed it more the longer I've been out of the movie theater, so I can actually think about things. I'll compare it to, I hate to say M. Night Shyamalan, but The Sixth Sense. And then I saw Signs, and I was like, man, the Signs, the first 2/3 of Signs was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Signs ending is the same as this ending, but it was like that type of movie, and I enjoyed it a lot. And I think it's not just a horror film, but it's like a mystery all like in one thing. And it had so many parallels and parables, like little small stories that kind of tell you what you need to know for the next scene. And he's like piecing it together for you. And it's like he took a giant puzzle and he broke it down and he built the house back up with those same puzzle pieces. And I love the way he did that. So it's definitely a now for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm putting now as well, man. This was easily like one of the better movies I've seen all year. And it's original. It's completely new. You don't
independent.
You have no expectations. You're not like, oh, am I going to see this person or am I going to see that? It's that's new, which I love Jordan Peele for. Yeah, I mean it was good, man. I mean how deep you want to dig and pull back the layers on this film is kind of up to you, because it can go really, really deep and it has many, many layers. And if you really want to get into like the minute, you know, little meanings and everything, I mean, Jordan Peele has definitely thought about a lot of that stuff. It's not a horror film in the sense of like how Freddy or Halloween or stuff like that is a horror film. There are some parts that are pretty scary, but it's definitely more of a mystery thriller kind of thing. So it was really interesting. I mean, I don't know if there's really like a overall meaning to it, besides just like, sibling kind of caring for each other kind of and reconnecting, I guess
think the thing was you can't control what I don't think we can say it without when you try to control something, sometimes it comes back and it bites you.
Yeah.
When you think you have that connection, that you can control something, it affects you until you realize you don't have control. You just have to go on what you know about it. In order, and respect it. If you don't have respect for something,
it's gonna attack and bite you and
in the ass.
Can get you.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. That's it. That's kind of it. But I really love this one. And then over on Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter, which is the critics, gave it an 82%. And that's out of 250 reviews. And then the audience, we got 2,500 plus verified users, gave it a 71. So the critics like it a little bit more than the audience.
It's because people don't like thinking.
Sure.
I'm telling you, that always affects your number. When you have something you have to think about later, and someone has to explain to you, people don't like that.
Yeah. Also, I don't want to get too much into it, but like there's a few people that are like, "Oh, this movie's too woke." I was like, "What the fuck? What?" Like right off the bat here, before we talk about it, there's a rating here. It says bad actors, bad director, bad special effects, costume set design was below what should have been released. Disgusting. We just said it has one of the best freaking cinematographers ever.
It's the Santa Clarita Valley. That's where all the whole shit is. $40 million of the budget is the Santa Clarita Valley. It's the most beautiful place, one of the most beautiful places in California. What the hell are you talking about?
I mean, bad actors. We just said how great the actors were, and bad director. The last original IP that did this well was also Jordan Peele's last movie. So it's like Jordan Peele's the only one making original movies. You know what I mean? Like that's insane. So like that got a half a star. And I was like, I gotta disagree with a lot. Right off the bat, bad actors. Really, Daniel Kaluuya, Academy Award.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah, come on. And the term woke is just thrown around too much. All it is, like I've said in the past, is it's code for the main character is not a straight white man, and I won't stand for that.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So I mean, in that thing, they didn't say it, but also it was like, I mean, there's no way you're talking about bad actors. Keke Palmer is not a bad actress.
And she is not. And she's been in so much. People don't know. I was just telling you about it. She's been in so many movies. It's not just Keely and the B guys.
But I mean, Daniel Kaluuya, I mean, he's been so many great things. I mean, he was up for an Academy Award, I believe, for which one?
Judas and the Black Messiah, right?
Judas and the Black Messiah. Dude, that movie.
It's just
was
good. Good Lord.
He's got a long career in front of him, man.
Yeah.
What did Jordan Peele say? He's his De Niro? Is that what we called him?
Yeah, he's like his go-to actor. Yeah,
he's like, this is it. This is my guy. This is it.
Yeah, he's what De Niro is to Scorsese, or like Johnny Depp is to Tim Burton, or Leonardo DiCaprio is to Scorsese. But it was and
great
more on Daniel Kaluuya's performance when we get to our spoiler portion. But
no, even without that, I want to say he's the type of actor that allows other actors around him to still be good and still take a spotlight. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't take it and hog the whole spotlight. He allows you to be good and him still being good and be able to balance out a movie. He doesn't have to be the screaming guy or look at me guy to be able to balance out a movie still. And that's why I really enjoyed about watching it.
He's focused on his craft and his character. It never really seems like a matter of ego for him.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's doing the best possible job he can do, I think,
Exactly.
So. But if you watched the movie, let us know in the comments what you thought of Nope. If you liked it, if it was bad in the beginning, bad at the end, vice versa, whatever you guys thought, let us know, and we'll have a convo in the comments with it.
Yeah, definitely.
But make sure you hit. Yeah, I'm really curious because so many people like different parts of the movie. It's kind of weird. But yeah, let us know. Make sure you like the video. It definitely helps us out, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know when we go live every Monday and Wednesday.